How's it going, you guys? Good afternoon, good morning, good night, whenever you're making this video. Right now for me it is nighttime. It's Monday. It was my day off, but I wanted to be able to get a video out for you guys because I want to really stick to the new schedule that I put out. So this video, as you can see from the title, will be for new or existing Instacart shoppers who are on the platform and maybe want to learn something, maybe have something to teach down in the comments, and so on and so forth. If you like these kind of videos, go ahead and drop a like and a subscribe for your girl, because I post lots of content dealing with gig work and how to make things a little bit easier. So what I like to tell new people when they're doing Instacart is, for one, like, if you're not a shopper and you don't like shopping and you don't like grocery stores, it might not be the app for you, but that's okay, because there's many more apps out there that you can do that does not consist around shopping. Instacart is probably one of the most brutal ones out there. I won't be posting many screenshots because I just signed that new agreement with Instacart about not posting things on YouTube of their interface because of copyright strikes, and I really don't want a copyright strike, but I'll try to explain the best that I can. But first off, which a lot of people don't know that you can do, is you can order an extra pay card without deactivating your first pay card that you have. So if anything were to ever happen, is if like you lose it or you break it or it's just not working anymore, you will have a backup one and you don't have to wait 7 to 10 days in the mail for that card. You could just go ahead and activate it. That was something that I learned on my Instacart shopping group on Facebook, that people said that you could do that. You can actually order as many cards as you want. I personally just have one backup at all times, but I thought that that was really cool. I haven't had to use it yet, but it's nice to know that there is an extra card in the background, especially if you use Instacart as a full-time job and something happens to where you lose your card and you cannot get another one. That is a very good tip that I like to start out with, because a lot of people don't know that, and you don't want to be, you know, struggling because you can't take certain batches, because certain stores you can use Apple Pay for certain stores, and other stores you can only use a pay card in itself. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be inserting clips. It's going to be mostly Aldi's. I know a lot of people don't like Aldi's, but Aldi's is my favorite store to shop, and that will start with shopping tip number 2 is find a store that you're comfortable with. And it might not even be the store that you shop for yourself. It might just be a store that, you know, it could be a smaller store. I like to start out with Aldi's because it's smaller. It's not a huge retail like Myers or Walmart or Publix. It's a smaller store, so you don't have to run back and forth if you forget anything. And for instance, with Aldi's, the layouts are the same in each one. You start out with your fruits and vegetables. On the side of that, you have your salad dressings and your salad toppers and your raisins and your nuts and stuff, and then you have breads and snacks, and then you have your cooler items, and then you have, like, all the aisles are set up the same. So for you to know that as you're scrolling through the list, you will know the route that you would want to take to get the order done in a timely manner. So find out what store that you want to start out with, and that doesn't necessarily mean don't start out everywhere. You know, with the types of batches that come in, lots of them are double batches. You'll have a Sam's Club and Aldi's, or you'll have a Costco and a Meijer, or you'll have a Fresh Time Market and an Aldi's. Like, you're gonna eventually have to do stores that you don't really know, but if it's paying good enough, it's worth it to learn, which is another thing, to learn what stores bring the most money, which will be the Myers and things like that. When you go and you start your batch, when you start your trip, when you get into the store, first things first is I will show you mine. You'll want to either use one of the custom greetings that Instacart already has written out for you, or you can make your own by going to your account, going to settings, and then going to custom greeting. And this one is mine right here. It says, Tatiana here, I'll do my best to fight my way around any frenzied crowds, be the hero to score as much of the stuff I can, and if anything is unavailable or I can't manage to steal it out of somebody else's cart, I'll swap it out for something I've deemed far superior or ask for your choice without charging any battle fees. Wish me luck. That's mine. I know it's kind of corny. I don't use that all the time. If it's like an order that only has like 3 things, I just do a custom greeting of short and sweet. But like if it's like a 1-person shop where there's like a lot of stuff, you know, I will send that just to give them a little bit of a laugh. You get good ratings from it. It kind of breaks the ice a little bit to know that like you're not just going in, shopping an order, and the customer may feel like they can't reach out to you if there's any problems that are arising in the order. So make sure you do introduce yourself, acknowledge yourself, that you're shopping for them, and that if they have any questions or you have any questions, like, feel free to reach out. That goes a long way. Lots of customers do, even if they don't say it to you, they will be upset if you don't say anything to them. You just kind of shop the order and leave it at that. So for the next thing is, when you are done shopping your order, you can do self-checkout at some stores, or you can go through a regular line in some stores. I personally like, it just depends on the order. I personally like self-checkout because I know if I have a double batch or something like that, especially at Aldi's, I do self-checkout always. For Aldi's, they put it all in a cart and then you gotta go take it over and bag, and nobody has time for that. So I like to do self-checkout at Aldi's. But like, say if I'm at a Meijer or something and I have a batch of 1 person and they have like 50 something things, go through a regular line. It will go way faster, way faster. But if you have 2 people, maybe you want to do self-checkout so you can separate. It's really just your personal preference, but there's no problem with going through a regular line. Now I know that some stores don't like Instacart shoppers to go through a regular line. Some stores don't treat Instacart shoppers like they're actually shoppers. They treat them like trash sometimes. And if that's your store, just go to a self-checkout. Just do self-checkout. There's nothing wrong with self-checkout. I personally like it because I don't like to talk to anybody and I don't like to wait in lines. So self-checkout is pretty easy. But when you are doing self-checkout, or you're doing to a point where you're bagging your own orders, and this is common sense, but sometimes common sense is not so common. But when you are bagging up somebody else's order, don't put bread on the bottom. Don't put eggs on the bottom on top of heavy stuff. Don't put cold items with cold items. Put warm items with warm items. Like, be smart. Don't mess up their order. Don't just throw everything all crazy in the bag. Bag it neatly. I like to personally bag in, like when I'm at Meijer's, I'll do paper bag, put the paper bag in the plastic bag, and then do it like that, because for one, you can fit more in a bag, and 2, everything just fits a lot nicer. It's easier to carry. Bags aren't like falling over on their porches and stuff like that, and it just looks more aesthetically pleasing. Now, you don't have to do that. That's just my personal preference on how I like to do it. I get lots of great bagging compliments, so you could take it or leave it. But I also like to do the paper and plastic bag method if I have 2 orders or 3 order shops. Like for one, I'll just do paper. For one, I'll just do plastic. And then for the third, I'll do paper and plastic. Like, you know, just to kind of separate it easily for myself. But most of the time, I like to go ahead and double bag their stuff for them. Another thing while shopping, Instacart tip number 5, I haven't been counting, but while you're shopping, don't be one of those shoppers who takes the cart everywhere with you, blocking cooler doors, blocking things for other people, or just simply not being able to get through the crowd because you have your cart. Leave the cart on the sidelines. Go through, grab what you need from that aisle, come back to your cart. Simple as that. That is the fastest way that you're gonna be able to get through frenzies, especially on weekends and mornings. Because if you're sitting there and you're taking your cart with you, it slows you down. It slows you down a lot. And specifically for like stores like Meijer who have baskets too, sometimes I like to carry a basket with me, leave the cart on the sidelines, run up and down the aisles with the basket. Once it fills up, stop on my cart, drop everything off in the cart, and then go back out. So don't take your cart with you. Don't be blocking cooler doors and things like that. It just makes it easier on you to get through the frenzy of people, and it makes it easier on other people just trying to get through. I wish that all shoppers would do that, but then you'd have carts everywhere. But for us Instacart shoppers or Uber shoppers or DoorDash shoppers, leave your cart on the sidelines if it's a big order. Before you start a shop, when you're in your car, you're getting ready to go, you're looking at the list, everything like that, don't forget that you can check customers' instructions before you start the shop. A lot of the times customers don't realize that the instructions that they're putting in are for drop-off instructions, and you might see something there that you need to know for the shop in itself, aka like no refunds or whatever the case may be. I don't get it a lot, but I do like to check just to see, you know, they give you instructions on anything, drop-off shops, stuff like that, but always just check. It also shows you their full address, so you know exactly where you're going before you hit that you're finished shopping, and you go through all that, and then you find out you're going to a 6th floor of apartment. So you can kind of find out if that's an order that you want to do or not from that. Usually when I accept the order, that is the first thing that I do, because it also shows you who, if it's a double shop, this person got 15 items, this person got 35 items, and it shows you exactly what everybody got, their instructions, their address, and it just makes things a whole lot easier. When it comes to replacements, guys, I know a lot of people just kind of like go through, and if something's out of stock and it says refund, they'll refund it. It all just depends on like on what kind of shopper you are. But for me personally, I will take the time to figure out a good replacement for somebody, or if they already have like you know how Instacart will say, well, replace the best thing. Use common sense, guys. If they ordered breadcrumbs and they don't have breadcrumbs, don't go get them like stuffing. Like, you know, use common sense. Like, get them something close to the item, everything like that. You don't have to sit there and wait for them to reply to actually approve the item. What I do is I put the item that I want to replace it in my cart, and I go about my day. And if they say, hey, I don't really want that, I will backtrack. I don't mind to backtrack. Usually I do have to backtrack anyways to get to the registers, but you know, just common sense, you know. A lot of stores have their home side and their grocery side, right? So when you're looking at what you need for the order, if you have things like soap, toothbrushes or toothpaste, and you're in a store like, let's say Walmart, everybody knows Walmart. You have your home side, and it starts out with your vitamins and your medicines, and then your toothbrush, your toothpaste, your body wash, dog food, etc. And then on the other side, it's like fruits, vegetables, and so on and so forth. What I found easiest for me is to start at the home side, grab that stuff first, and make my way around and do it like that. That's just something that I like to do, because then you don't have to like go back and forth. And then obviously you don't want to have perishables in your cart for so long while you're trying to get body soap. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now I know that, at least for me, when I first started Instacart, the first thing that I did was look up Instacart tips and trick videos. Everybody does it. That's the first thing that I did. The one thing that you're gonna see is a lot of people going to wholesale stores. A lot of people going to Costco drops, going to Sam's Club drops, and things like that. But the problem with that is that, as you see it on YouTube, everybody does it. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's all market dependent, but for my area, there's literally a horde of people that sit outside of Costco. So at that point, it's just not worth it. I would say, while all of those people are at Costco waiting for the Costco drop, go to a different store. Go to a Meijer, go to a Publix, go to a different store that you know gets a lot of batches, because the people who usually sit at that store, they're going to go over to the Costco drop, and they're not going to be by that store, and you will be prone to get more orders. But Costco is not in anymore. Costco changes everything around every single day. The regular customers there, it's so packed, it's so crowded. You always, like, at that store, 17 items is a lot, you know. 17, it's a wholesale store. You're getting big boxes of stuff. So it's like, would you rather do $17 for 28 bucks at Costco, or would you rather do 17 items for 28 bucks at Walmart? That's the difference. Like, it's really just not worth it anymore unless you get like a really, really high paying order. But I would say waiting in the Costco parking lot at the drop really just is not worth it anymore, with the oversaturation of shoppers that are trying to get those high paying offers to make the most money out of the day. It's just not worth it. I would say what would be worth it, other than waiting at a Costco drop, is to just get out earlier. Get out earlier, be done earlier. You'll hit the drops. If you know your stores, like your market stores and what time they open up. Like for me, for instance, Meijer opens up at 6. Fresh Time Market opens up at 7. Aldi's, it opens up at 8. Giant Eagle opens up at 9. So you're getting drops for all these stores from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. of all different stores. So you're bound to get something good, especially when you're sitting outside of like a Meijer or a Publix. You're going to get at the drop a pretty good high paying offer at the start. You know, it is hit or miss, market dependent, but I would say that that's worth it more than going to Costco, fighting a crowd of people to get 17 packs of water. That's just my opinion. If Costco works for you, I'm so glad. Like, I wish Costco worked for me. I tried to get it to work for me and it just was not it. So take that with a grain of salt if you'd like. Also with shopping, I know that trying to get as close as you can to the store is a lot of people's priorities, but something that will help you more than trying to get to the front of the store is just parking next to a cart corral. You park next to a cart corral, you can get a cart faster, you can put your cart away faster, you can load up and just put it away, and that's it. It's pretty easy, you know, it makes everything so much more simple. When you park more towards the front, you don't have a cart corral, then you end up having to walk your cart up to the front or walk a long way to get to a cart corral, and it just saves you a little bit of time. Anything to save you time, because if you're a good shopper, you do spend some time communicating with the customer about their order, that after you're done shopping that, you want to do the best that you can with getting there in a timely manner. Now, the rest of the stuff that you will see on YouTube, I tried to get the stuff that people don't really talk about on YouTube, but the stuff that people do talk about on YouTube is obviously don't block people's doors. If they say don't ring the doorbell, don't ring the doorbell. I usually don't ring doorbells anyways. If it's a leave at door, take a picture. If it's a hand to me, I like to knock. If they don't come to the door, I do, and this is against Instacart policies, but I don't wait 10 minutes. I don't take people's groceries. I leave it at the door, I take a picture, I send the picture to them and leave it at that. I have never had a problem with it. I know some people say that they have had problems with that before in the past, the people saying that they never got their order, but as long as you take your picture, you're fine. As long as you take your picture, you are fine. Other than that, I mean, I don't really have much more for Instacart tips and tricks. If you guys have any questions about anything that I went over, leave it down in the comments. I will be happy to answer anything. This is kind of like a last minute video that I wanted to get out for you guys. I hope you guys had a great day and made lots of money. And if you have any Instacart tips or tricks that you would like to leave down in the comments for new shoppers or existing shoppers that people might not know, there's a lot of different things that you can learn from YouTube channels, so just go on and do some studies to see, especially if you're new and you just seem like you're not making much money on the platform in itself. Other than that, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye now.